What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Chief Marketing Officer, tigerfitness.com, creator of the Outright Bar, partner in the Ambrosia Collective, 015 Nutrition, and Pump Chaser Supplement, and IFBB Pro. So this video is going to piss a lot of people off, and I don't really care. But I think I'm pretty tired of people accusing everybody who's really awesome of being on steroids. That's like accusing LeBron James of being a fucking alien, because no matter how hard I practice at basketball, I can't ball like LeBron James. Two specific individuals. I just did a video on how to tell if people are on a ton of steroids. And I pointed to our good friend, Carly Muscle, eating the ramen and the tuna fish. And basically he wants to have a kid. All of a sudden he loses like 100 pounds of muscle. He goes from 260 to like 180 or whatever. I know that's not 100 pounds, it's like 80 pounds. Literally changes into a new man. And then you see bodybuilders, you know, who get a health problem or just retire and end up getting small, right? Like I think, Justin Compton did it. Now, obviously he had health problems. That was the right thing to do. But then you see someone like Seth Feroce, who's done competing, who stays jacked, and really isn't doing what he did when he was competing, but still is super jacked. And so a lot of people were like, okay, what about Simeon Panda? What about Mike? How dare you call Mike O'Hearn natural? How dare you call him natural? And I'm not going to look, man, I'm not going to lose my career trying to guess what another man's on. But I think y'all need to be educated on my process of thought and why I'm not going to get on the natty or not Mike O'Hearn, Simeon Panda bandwagon. Number one, for the record, I'm friends with Simeon. I love the guy, and he's good friends with my partner, Mike Rashid. And I think that he is an upstanding individual, and I just think he's an amazing human being. Mike O'Hearn, if you've ever met him, he's one of the nicest guys you've ever met. Now, I've never personally gone up to either of them and asked them if they're on steroids. However, and I'm going to use them as an example as to why we can't always assume that people who look better than us or who perform better than us have some crazy secret. So, for example, you have all these bodybuilders going to Kuwait and gaining fucking like 60, 80 pounds of muscle. It's nuts. It's nuts. And the first thing I thought was, dude, they have some crazy fucking drugs in Kuwait that no one's ever heard of before. Or I thought, dude, they are injecting so much. But then I think to myself, Boston Lloyd, God rest his soul, injected, I don't think he can inject much more. The dude, I have no idea where he put all the stuff. Yet he wasn't that big. Like he wasn't Mr. Olympia. In fact, he never got his pro card. All right. So it's not a how much you take thing, or else I know guys locally in fucking Tennessee, physique athletes, like not even fucking bodybuilders, who take more drugs than I've ever even imagined taking, and they're still small. All right. So these guys go to Kuwait and they gain all this size, and finally, like, it's no secret that Brandon Curry's my business partner. It's no secret that I've met so many people who've been to Kuwait. And the funny thing is, there's no fucking crazy steroids over there. And if you think there are, go ahead and think that. I don't fucking care what you believe. I don't care if you believe that Joe Rogan is Jesus Christ. I don't care what you believe. I don't fucking care. And Joe Rogan might indeed be the Messiah, for the record. At the end of the day, these guys are going to Kuwait. Their meals are literally cooked for them, every meal. They have a guy wake them up to make sure they do their cardio. They have a guy make sure they do their training. They have a dude make sure they lift. They have unlimited massages. They have recovery techniques. To say steroids are not a part of bodybuilding would be the stupidest thing ever. But to say that steroids and some weird fucking IGF peptide concoctions that somehow they found in a third world country before they discovered in the United States of America. Of all places, fucking Kuwait. You think that Kuwait's on the cutting edge of steroid technology? No, dude, here's what they do. They provide one of the best equipped gyms in the world with the finest amenities and with really good food and rest. These guys are literally in the equivalent of a bodybuilding fight camp. They get there, they fucking train, sleep, and eat. They don't have to worry about pay. They don't have to worry about anything back here. All right, Brandon goes out there and his wife's a single mom. All right, Brandy's there fucking taking care of everything. So Brandon is just there working. What is work? Winning the fucking Mr. Olympia, which he's going to do this year. He's going to beat Rami this year. That's my prediction. There's my number one thing I'm in hate for. You Rami fans are crazy, and I love you, though. I like Rami, too. Obviously, I like Brandon better. He's like my guy, right? So what does that have to do with anything? Well, we thought that they were taking more drugs. So you look at Mike O'Hearn, you look at Simeon Panda, and here's why I think, I don't know for sure what anybody's taking. Don't care. So Simeon's been doing this a long fucking time. I've never, ever seen Simeon out of shape. I have seen Simeon eat food that I would never eat and stay really lean. The guy has an appetite. He can eat. I've also seen Simeon train using weights that even someone like me who is shorter with better leverage and is on steroids can't lift. Like Simeon in most lifts, or in some lifts at least, is stronger than me. His skin is perfect. There isn't one pimple on that man's body. Not that I checked every square inch of his body, but I am saying if I wanted to look at a dude naked, it'd probably be him. Okay? So he's also obscenely healthy. This is a guy who posts pictures with his little mini golden doodle riding bicycles across California. The guy's extremely fit. He is the epitome of living the lifestyle and being healthy. Mike O'Hearn, guy has literally been doing this. Again, I told this story the other day. 2000, not even 1996. I was 15 years old. I remember seeing Mike training with a group of people and doing reverse hyperextensions with like 800 pounds on the fucking thing. And I remember looking over and saying, Jesus Christ, what is that? It's the most beautiful monster I've ever seen in my life. Perfect everything. Again, when you look at steroid abusers, I want you to go to a local NPC show because I've been backstage and I'm not by any means throwing shade on these people, but y'all know you're unhealthy as fuck. And I'm not claiming to be the healthiest man in the world, but I mean, you could tell there's a difference between my skin and the skin, even though I'm Mr. Cancer Boy now. At the end of the day, man, if you're abusing steroids, you're going to have some signs of abusing steroids. You're going to have jaundice. You're going to have yellowish skin. Your eyes are going to be fucking weird. White people, when they do steroids, their skin gets blotchy. I don't know if that's due to circulation or the liver, but I want you to look at, I don't want to throw them out there. A newer bodybuilder on the scene who's blown up, like I'm talking 100 pounds blown up, his skin just doesn't look healthy. It looks red, it looks yellow, it looks blotchy, it's got acne. Then you look at Mike O'Hearn's skin, which is like, and I'm someone who's not speaking as a Disney employee because I groom kids. I'm speaking as someone who's had babies. And babies have the most perfect skin. It's so smooth. It's so soft. I remember Preston's skin was just like, I remember the first thing when he's like a day old, I'm like, this kid's skin is perfect. Mike O'Hearn has that baby-like skin, and he's like 40 whatever years old. So you look at someone like Simeon, who I've never seen out of shape, or not even not even just like out of shape, but not in perfect shape, right? He's always in perfect shape. This is a guy who's won natural bodybuilding titles, okay? You look at someone like Mike O'Hearn, who I saw the guy for the first time. If I'm mistaken, I believe it was 1996, could have been 97. And I remember seeing this guy and I'm like, and he still looks perfect. So there are genetics involved. If these guys stayed on the amount of drugs that a normal person would require to stay in that kind of shape year round for over 20 years. Again, I've known Mike for over 20 years. Okay. 20 years. to never get out of shape. And then for somehow you get someone like, you see what's happening as these cats are getting older, right? Like the guys who abuse drugs are getting heart issues. They're getting liver issues. They're getting kidney issues. They're having health problems. When's the last time Mike O'Hearn literally walked his ass off a stage, got right back up? The guy's immortal. The guy's been a fucking American gladiator. Like, when's the last time you seen Simeon post, yeah, man, my shit, I don't get unhealthy. I just managed to be out in the sun a lot when I was a kid, and I got carcinoma, and it was just, they cut it out and I'm good to go. When do you see them go like, oh man, I'm at the hospital having heart issues? Like you saw that with Larry Wheels. He's only 27 years old. You see these guys, I'm getting my calcium levels checked in my heart. It's like Nick Walker and these guys. But when do you ever see Simeon Panda and Mike O'Hearn and their bodies? If you're looking at druggies, those aren't HRT bodies. If those are normal genetics, those are fucking trend bodies, but without the negatives. Everything about them is perfect. None of them have distended stomachs. None of them have any of that shit. Now that they're getting older, have they introduced HRT? That's between them and their doctor. But for anybody, I got so many, I'm unfollowing you because you think Mike O'Hearn's natural. Fuck yourself. I'll live. I'm fine. I'm just speaking truth, because as much damage as it does for someone like Cali Muscle to lie for years and years and years about being natural, to outright lie, about being natural and just eating tuna fish and ramen and having a high mud pre-workout. I've always been honest. I always said I was on stuff. And when I didn't say I was on stuff, I never claimed I was natty. I just would be like, it's between me and my doctor. It's none of your business. And then when I got on HRT, I made sure when I decided to come public about it, I won't shut the fuck up about it because I believe in it for people who need it. But when you go out and you lie, that's horrible because it's giving people a false sense. So likewise, imagine if there's I was just talking the other day to my wife, like my kids have phenomenal genetics for sports. My wife never played a sport in her life. Okay. Never played a sport. However, my kids are studs. They're better than I ever was. So it's not just my genetics carrying them through. It's not just my training carrying them through. It's part of my wife's genetics. There's so many people out there who could be the next Doug Miller, who could be the next Mike O'Hearn, who could be the next Simeon Panda, but they've never trained. How many dudes go to prison and figure out that they can get jacked on ramen and tuna fish and fucking doing pull-ups? A lot. There's a lot of people who have these abilities who never actually try. The difference is Mike O'Hearn had 1 in a billion genetics. Simeon Panda had 1 in a billion genetics. And then they combined it with work ethic and discipline as only like maybe 0.0001% of the population has. So you combine that work ethic with those superior genetics and you got yourself Mike O'Hearn and you got yourself Simeon Panda. I'm by no means going to take up for them and say they're natural. But until someone proves that they're not, I think that to be combative at someone who's going to say, I believe they can be natural. I mean, I remember having this discussion. It's funny because the people who are successful, like really successful, they believe that it is a possibility that these guys are natural, right? Like, for example, Chris Gethin, he and I had this conversation. He's like, I think Mike O'Hearn's natural. I've had this conversation with people as almost jokingly, but there are people who are great at things. Canelo Alvarez. Wouldn't we all agree that he's an amazing boxer? And those are more than just earned gifts. Those are gifts from God. Are we going to agree that Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade were phenomenal talents and that was genetics, gift from God? Wherever you want to go with that. I know you atheists get all pissed off when I mention God. You're going to say that Tiger Woods wasn't, even though his dad kind of taught him that, he wasn't born with some knack for being a fucking amazing golfer. You're going to tell me that genetics and fucking all that shit don't make a difference? So with Mike O'Hearn and with Simeon Panda, you combine perfect genetics with perfect work ethic. And you have 2 fucking specimens. So instead of hating, y'all need to start congratulating And if you don't like what I'm saying, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. I'll live another day. I'll continue to get abysmal views on my channel. But at the end of the day, bro, I think they definitely, am I going to say they're natural? I don't fucking know. I don't care. But to say that there's no way they're natural, it's ignorant. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. What do you think? Comment down below. Is Michael Hearn natural? Simeon Panda natural? Is Marc Lobliner natural? I'll answer that for you. No. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Marc Lobliner. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, buy all your supplements from tigerfitness.com, including this delicious Ghost energy drink. And this hat. That's not a game. I'm a pro bodybuilder, and this is my experience with plant protein. Whey protein is awesome. However, in some individuals, it can cause distension and bloating. When I was going for my pro card, I needed everything to be perfect. I needed a small waist. Ambrosia planta is basically hypoallergenic, meaning that all the chances of having bloat, distension, not an issue. Planta tastes great, mixes amazing, and it is the protein that I credit with helping keep my waist tight and small to earn my IFBB Pro card. Planta, the IFBB Pro's choice.